وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم العميد. قال رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه: المرء مع من أحبه، أو كما قال الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه. حمد و ثنا کے بعد میرے والد احترام بزرگ اور دوستو، السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. وعلیکم السلام. اللہ تبارک و تعالی جل جلالہ وامن والہ کا لا تعداد انگیز بے شمار شکر ہے کہ ہمیں اشرف المخلوقات میں سے انسان پیدا فرمایا، اور صرف یہ نہیں بلکہ ہمیں آقا انعامدار تاجدار مدینہ فخر موجودات احمد مصطفیٰ محمد مصطفیٰ صلی اللہ تعالی علیہ وسلم کے امتی بنا. ایک شاعر نے کیا خوب فرمایا ہے، فرماتے ہیں کہ کی محمد سے وفا تو نے تو ہم تیرے، کی محمد سے وفا تو نے تو ہم تیرے ہیں. یا رسول اللہ، یہ جہاد ہی سیکھ کرے. What is this word? Loho karam. The pen is yours. However you wish to write it, you write it. This dunya is nothing. And whatever happens in the dunya, it has to go past the Prophet beloved Nabi Muhammad. It is said that we are, alhamdulillah, in the month that is dedicated towards the family of our beloved Habib Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll give you a waqia, and then we will talk about the Quran and Sayyidina Abu Sifat. It is said that a young boy, his father was getting old, and the father decided that he would like to go for Hajj. In the old days, when they had to go for Hajj, the other has to go on horseback or on a donkey, and it used to take them months before they could reach Makkah al-Mukarramah. So that traveling and that preparation of traveling had to be way before that. So it was said that there was a young boy, he was making tawaf of the Kaaba. As he was making tawaf of the Kaaba, it is said a wali Allah, great wali, great alim, he was making tawaf behind this boy. And he said when you make tawaf behind the Kaaba or around the Kaaba, you must make dua to Allah. Allahumma rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirah hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. He said this boy was only reading the durood and salam upon Nabi Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This wali of Allah, durood and salam, what is the reason? So he went after him. He's asking this boy, tell me what is the reason for you to read durood and salam when you are making tawaf of the Kaaba? Well, it is stated that you must make dua. So this young boy, he relates the story now. And he says, what happened to me is, that I decided with my father now we should go for Hajj because he was old. And we went on horseback. And he said that on the way to go for Hajj, on the way, the father got sick. It was said the son was holding the reins for a few kilometers. Then the father jumped off the horse and he was holding the horse and moving. This is the best way of making Hajj. So it was said on that journey of going to Hajj, the father got very sick. Up to this point, the father was getting unconscious. So the father settled off the horse, and this son now, he takes the father's head, son Mubarak, and he puts it on the lap. And he's looking at his father, and he's thinking to himself that, Ya Allah, I am in a place where there is no help, and there is nobody near. Allah has put this difficulty on me. What made it more worse was as the father's ruh was coming out, his face started turning black. Face started turning black. Now he went to Mubarak. He said, anyone's face that turns black after they die, you get bura admita. You're the bad man. Never did good in his life. It's one of the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that love, he loved his father. Unlike father and son, very great bond. Nobody can break. They'll fight, they'll do whatever, but the bond. So it is said that he, in this parishani, in this worry, he went into a slumber. Not sleep. Slumber. And in the slumber, he sees a man riding a horse. White horse. Beautiful. He comes close to his father. He takes his right hand. He puts it in his father's forehead. And he rubs it down right to the chin. But when he lifts his hand up, he sees that his father's face got nur again. Allah. They say that when you die, all your good deeds come to an end. Everything comes to an end. What helped you? So he caught that guy's hand. He says, tell me, who are you? Where did you come from? He says, I am the durood and salam that your father used to read to us, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And I was there to come to his assistance whenever he is in need of any assistance. So my brothers in Islam, that durood and salam, he was explaining that he carried on reading the durood and salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even accepted that gunas of his father was washed away through the sadaqah and wasila of our Nabi, Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I would like to end my talk here. Hazrat Allama Maulana Faqir Ahl Sunnat, Hazrat Maulana Ishaq Adam Sahab, Dama Barakatul Aliyah is present. Inshallah, he will take over from me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of the durood and salam of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Because it is the greatest ibadat. Afzalul ibadat, salatu wassalam ala Nabi Muhammad Mustafa. You can understand that very clearly because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala Nabi. Allah don't read namaz? Allah read namaz? No. Allah gives zakat? No. Allah gives rosa? No. But what does he say? If you don't read for my Nabi, I'll read. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا وبارك وسلم عليه قول حضرت الله مولانا إسحاق عدن
Come in here. Come in here is better. You get more swab in the front. Why lose out unnecessarily? When you're getting the blessings, accept it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. وتوبوا إلى الله جميعا أيها المؤمنون. صدق الله العظيم. وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا وكريمنا ورؤوفنا ورحيمنا ومولانا ومرجعنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. सबसे पहले मैंने मसला बयान करना है. There's lots of rumors going around that this mosque, my nephew has put it down, is not accepted, and they feel it's not good for Jummah. Jummah is a day where the Muslims get together. That's why they call it Jummah. When 3 people is there and 5 namaz is read in that mosque, you can perform Jummah. I make this masla very clear because these questions came to me and I answered them, and I like to lecture them also. So wherever ibadat is done, you cannot stop that place. Let it go on. And Allah will accept that ibadat of ours. But anyway, that is not the masla today. I'm still working on that. Today's lecture is very simple, very sweet and very simple. All the holidays that we had, some of you must have went to the beaches swimming, and some of you must have went to the hotels, and some of you must have went to the casinos, some of you must have went to the bushes, where you have some relaxation there, with the animals, and lots of other places you must have went. Allah subhanahu there. But me personally, I stayed at home, because being there, it's better holiday time to stay at home, because the beaches are so flooded, and hotels are full, prices are high, so you better just stay at home, and that's it. So, what was I doing at home? That's the good question. That is what I'm here to tell you. While sitting at home, pondering on what I have done before, last year, it's the end of the year now, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask forgiveness for all the sins that I've committed in the entire year. Some I know and some I don't know. Sometimes knowingly we do it, sometimes unknowingly we do it. It's a known fact. You can't run away from it. You can't turn your face away from it. You have done it. Have you ever experienced committing a sin and then taking your hands and putting on your head and say, what I've done now to myself? I should have not done that. I should have not did this, not did that, and I should have just stayed away from that. And now look at the position I'm in. That little bit of mithas, you call it, that little bit of happiness, that little bit of relaxation in the form of sin, what it has done to me. Now, you want to know how we are going to solve this problem of ours. We need something to solve that. Okay, Monisab, you say that we have done this, we have done that, we have committed sin. Okay, we have committed sin. What is the solution now to wash that up and sort ourselves out? So after you read the Rushani one more time, inshallah, and then we start again. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. One young gentleman like this man sitting here, he looked like a man to me. He asked me a question. He says, Moli Sahib, not Maulana, not Hadrat, nothing. He said, Moli Sahib, oh fellow, not very big. So he says, have you ever committed a sin in your life? I said, that's a very good question you asked me. You asked me a very good question. But I cannot tell you that. That sin is between me and the Creator. Unfortunately, I can't tell you. He asked me, but why you can't tell me that? You committed a sin, it's okay, it's the past now, it's done already. I said, yeah, it is the past, but I cannot tell you. Why you cannot tell me? And he carried on questioning me. I said, I cannot tell you for one good reason, but it's because my Creator told me not to tell anybody. How wonderful Creator we have got. I want to show you today. Especially those that are really afraid of getting into that grave of theirs, or those that are afraid to die, and those that are afraid to face the Creator in the day of judgment. Especially to those people. How are you going to face the Creator? You asking about me, you asking about yourself, you asking about the entire world. Ask also Ziaee Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu ta'ala. What he said? He said, Ya Allah, mujhe qiyamat ke din logon ke samne sharmsar mat karna. Don't make a fool of me in front of all those people that followed me. Please, forgive me now. And that too is not asking forgiveness in a mosque or in Baghdad or one of the streets or one of the mosques. He went to Makkah. He held the khilaf of the Kaaba and he said, Ya Allah, mujhe logon ke samne yaad rakhna. Qiyamat ke din sharmsar na karna. He made the Creator make a promise. What he's doing now? He's asking the Creator to forgive him now, if he has committed any sins. And he was such a pious person that not even an ant which can see miles away can say that I've seen you committing this sin. He's such a pious person, such a pious person. And the Shariat law was the first thing in front of him. He always abided to the Shariat law. And for him to say, Ya Allah, forgive me. And in the day of judgment, in front of all those people, please save my respect. It's a very delicate situation. Allah, so, oh, maaf farman. Forgive us all. We have committed a lot of sins. Forgive us all. Every day that should be our duty. Because we do not know when our eyes is going to close. And when your eyes are really closed and you go away, you are gone. I went to City Hospital and I met this one gentleman and he said he wants to see me. So I went in the ICU. Well, they had all those things in him, and then I went there, and the moment he saw me, he pulled everything out. So the nurses came, and everyone asked him, what is wrong with you? He says, no, just wait now. He calmed himself down, and calmed everyone else down. And he tried to breathe. He threw everything out and he smiled at me. Lately now, in December. Well, maybe November, December, just about that time. And he smiled at me. He said, Maulana, you came, and I sent for you. This is what he said. I sent for you, and you came. That is all I wanted. What he said? He said, that is all I wanted, this for you, to see you, and I'll be happy. And then he eventually told him to put everything back. He closed his eyes, and that's it. How much of faith he had? Not on me, myself. He had the faith that I had the knowledge of Allah and Rasul. And to see a person like me, it's a great day for him. Alami Deen ka chehra ko dekhna, baise sawab hai. Do you know how much of blessing you get by looking at the face of an alim? Leaving aside the sins that he has committed, leaving aside the good deeds that he has committed or did in his life, in his living conditions, whatever good he did, whatever bad he did, leave all that. Why is it that if you look at an alim's face, you will be blessed abundantly? Why? It's because he possesses the knowledge of the Quran and the Hadith of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just because of that. And if he's more pious, then you get blessed more to look at him. So this is the position we are today in. And then obviously, they say there's a black man and there's a white man. Who looks much more handsome? Well, if you ask me, I'll think of other than Bilal. Look at the position he's got. Look at the nur that he had. He had a black face. He was known as a black man in the entire world. Bilal. Hazrat Bilal. But look at the nur he had, that the Prophet Muhammad had to praise his nur. This is the nur of Hazrat Bilal. This is where Hazrat Bilal is going to be. This will be his position in heaven. This will be his position in the grave. That he will be so relaxed. But today, look at his position. He's burning in the sun. They have buried him in the sand. Hot sun is hitting him. Now he's black, he's getting more black. But the nur was always there. So whatever good we do today, whatever good you do today, it shows you on your face immediately. It's not the color. It's the nur that you see. You'll find a black man sometimes very handsome. Because it's not just because he's a black man, it's the good deeds that he does. So every good deed any individual person does, being a Muslim with Iman, you must have Iman first. If you've got Iman and you do a good amal, a good deed, you will see that good deed in your face. You will glitter. And your face will have so much of nur in it. Because they will say, this man is fast in namaz. This man never misses in namaz. This man always reads the zikr and fikr. He always sits and asks Almighty to forgive him. He always asks someone, he asks forgiveness from them. Now that's another very important thing. How could we ask forgiveness from another Muslim or another person? Do you know what's happening these days, especially when it comes to sins and when it comes to tawbah? It's so important. Let me tell you. Allahu Akbar. Allah safeguard us from that. What I'm going to say now. When we do counseling for the people, I do counseling every week. And I must tell you, you get husband and wife coming, and the wife openly tells me that my husband is committing, is having an affair with my neighbor. Now who's the neighbor? It's another Muslim. But she knows about it, he knows about it, and the other woman on the other side knows about it, but the husband doesn't know. Alhamdulillah. Now until that husband does not forgive you, that is having an affair with the other woman, unless he doesn't forgive you, you won't be forgiven. It's very frightening. It's very scary. Because the woman openly told me, says, Morana, if my husband went and committed adultery with a prostitute, I will understand. There is a separate lady who's there. Now he commits an adultery with another married woman who belongs to another man. Very delicate issue. And we are getting involved in these types of sins every day of our life. You know the other thing when they say, किसी के पीठ पीछे बुराइयां मत बयान कर. Don't talk behind someone's back. Don't make chugulkhori. Say something in the ears of someone else. You want to tell a man, tell him on his face, politely and go away. But don't talk behind his back. You know why? In the day of judgment, you will not be forgiven for that sin. Why must we commit a sin that we will not be forgiven for? Yes, our Creator is Ghafur Rahim. He is Rahman and He is Rahim too. And He is the forgiver. And He, bar agar Quran mein dekhen, look at the Quran, every time you will find that most of the time He will tell you, I am the forgiver and I will forgive you. So don't get upset with someone that tells you, you will not be forgiven in the day of judgment. You will not be forgiven in that grave of yours because you are such a bad person. Don't listen to him. Because the Creator is always there to forgive you. And He is there to hide your sins. Oh, but that's not all. That's not all. You know the sins that we commit. Now, don't go on committing sins now. There's something I'm going to tell you that will encourage you to commit sins also. Listen to me very carefully. If you have committed lots of sins, and one day you pick up your hand before dying and say, Ya Allah, forgive me for all the sins that I've committed. And I will say, I will forgive you. Banda, मेरा बंदा तू है, मैं तेरा गुलाम हूं, और मैं माफ करने वाला हूं, मैं तुझे माफ कर दूंगा. I'll forgive you. That is one condition here. Make sure that you didn't tell anybody else about it. Make sure that you didn't talk behind someone's back. Two things. One, do not tell the other person you committed a sin. The other, do not commit sin behind someone's back. And the other, do not commit sin with another man's wife. Three things. Because if you ask the Creator for forgiveness for all those sins, He tell you, look, these 3 million sins that you have committed in all those years that you lived, or whatever, I have forgiven you. But these few sins that you have done, I cannot forgive you. Why? Because the wife that you had adultery with, the husband has to forgive you. Uska haq tha. It is his haq, his wife that is. You have no right to have an affair with her. So you will have to ask him for forgiveness. Until he does not forgive you, I cannot forgive you. I am the forgiver. But this won't be justice. And I am the Creator who will have justice and make justice at all times. So I cannot do that. Look, you have committed a sin, you didn't tell anybody. Hide that thing away. Nobody knows about it, don't worry. I know. Okay, I forgive you. But that person who spoke bad about, behind his back, you spoke bad about him, and yet that bad was not on him, it's called buhtan. It's worse than riba. Buhtan is something that you spoke bad about someone and that bad is not in you. But you told everybody about the bad. That is called buhtan. It's worse than ribat, backbiting. So it's better not to talk bad. You want to talk something good about someone? Yeah, you go ahead and talk good about him. Praise him. And Allah will praise you, give you a better position in this world and in heaven also you'll have a better position, higher position. So that is why we should not talk bad about anybody, but talk good about it. And at the same time, do not commit adultery with someone else's wife. And also remember, do not say anybody that I've committed this particular sin. And Allah will forgive you. And Allah's promise, Man Ghafurur Rahim, I am Ghafurur Rahim, the forgiver. I pity everybody. But they are all my created beings. So these are the things you must not do. Take for example, what's happening today is poverty. Poverty comes with sins. Now we're getting a new year that's coming in. You're already now in January. And we're going to open our businesses now. We are going to go to work, working for someone. Maybe you get an increase sometime, maybe you will not get an increase. So you tell Musa, make a dua that we get an increase. Yes, I'm going to make a dua. Allah give you a better year. With lots of barakat. For you, your family, your children, your grandchildren. Allah keep you happy. And give you lots of barakat. Abundantly. That's my dua for all of you today. They are seated here today, and all the Muslims that are around us. So this is my dua. But at the same time, we have to get our amal right. When Allah tells you do good, I bless you for it. But there is something that I was going to tell you now. Remember this very, very carefully. Say you committed 90 sins. But I'll just give you an example. Just to make you understand this Quran ayat. Say you committed 90 sins. Well, 90 sins are committed. It would be 90 times Allah's forgiveness. You don't have to. You pick up your hand once you pick up your hand, Allah Ta'ala will forgive you immediately for all the 90. But the problem is that if you have committed 90 sins and you stop there, dead, stop now, and no more going to commit sins anymore, what happens is Allah Ta'ala blesses you for all the sin that you have committed and gives you more blessings on top of it. Why? Because you said to the Creator, Ya Allah, I promise you, yes, I've committed 90 sins, but please forgive me from this day onwards, I will not commit any sins. And then you cry, you drop some tears, you pick up your hands, you put your head down, you go down on sajda, you put your hand like this, please forgive me, Ya Allah. Allah sees all that, and He asks the angel, look at this fellow. He's down to the ground, he's got his hand like that, now asking me, what should I do? He is in sujood now. Then the angel will say, Ya Allah, you know better. You know better. Forgive this man. You can see what he's trying to do. Look at his position. He's got a beautiful position. And in that beautiful position, he's asking you, the Creator. He knows you as one and only, and He also knows that you are the Creator, and He also knows that you will forgive Him. That's His promise. He knows that you are promised. So He's asking you in this manner, forgive Him. Come inside, there is place here, come inside. Come inside. He said, no. Nice to sit, do the counting and barakat. Allah Akbar. एक बार एकदम से पढ़ लो अल्लाह सुब्हानल्लाह. Now this is a beautiful part. Let me very clear make it to you. All the sin, that 90 sins that you committed, Allah will change those 90 sins into hasanat. You know what that means? He changed those 90 sins into good deeds. You committed the sins, 90 sins. Here goes the Creator changing those 90 sins into good deeds. How wonderful He is. And what is non-Muslims and non-believers, what they say? What is wrong with this Creator of this? They call Him Allah. What name is this? What kind of Creator is this? Every time he talks about hell, He'll put you in hell, He'll punish you for this sin, He'll punish you for that sin. You will suffer in the grave, you will suffer in hell. Yes, the Quran tells you about those things. But the Quran is trying to tell you, what the Creator is trying to tell you, in fact, stop committing sins because these are the things going to happen to you. I will have to have a place and position for those that do not have Iman. I have got a place for those that commit a sin. At a certain time, I'm going to put them in there and I'm going to take them out and still send them in heaven if they got Iman, if they believe in me, and if they believe that I am the Creator, I am the one and only Creator, and they got the faith and they believe in all my Rasul that I've sent down, and they believe in the Prophet Muhammad Mustafa ﷺ, that he is my beloved, the highest position from all Anbiyas is what? Then I will forgive them. But not just forgive them. One is just forgiving them and forgetting about it. This is not forgotten. You have now committed 90 sins. Allah is going to change those 90 sins into hasanat, into good deeds. How fortunate we are. And yet we turn our face away. We turn our backs away from Qibla. We face our backs toward the Qibla these days. Whereas we're supposed to face our front, our face facing the Qibla. Meaning, we must read our 5 times a month. Now one gentleman, young gentleman said, "What is up? It's so tiring." I said, "What is tiring?" He said, 5 times namaz in a day we have to read. If I'm going for a picnic party, whole day I need to be relaxed. Nobody must trouble me. I must have my meals, I must have my relaxation, I must swim in the beach, I must go and change. Now, I must go and change my clothes, I must bath, I must make my wuzu, I must do that. All that is hasanat, all that is good deeds. Every position you make for yourself, your ghusl, your wuzu, your janabat, your clothes, cleanliness of the clothes, your position, your facing, your intention, your iman, your bowing down, all these things that you are going to be paid for. Allah is going to pay you for it. With hasanah, with good deeds, good position, a place in heaven. That is what we all want. We should not turn our face away, because Allah never turns His face away when we pick up our hands like that. What He says? Tu maanga main tujhe deta hu. You ask me, I'll forgive you. I'm right next to you. You ask me in the lightest, most softest voice you can ask for, or even ask me from your heart, I will know that you're asking. Now some of them are scared to say, Allah forgive me, I've committed this sin, I've committed that sin. Okay. No problem. Talk to me. You can talk to the Creator loudly, you can talk to Him silently, you can talk to Him with ishara, you can talk to Him from your heart, you can talk to Him from your eyes, He will listen to you. That's why that masla comes, that if someone is sitting somewhere and they don't know which side the Qibla is, or they want to read the namaz, and they cannot stand up, they cannot even sit, they cannot even relax, but the only way they can read is to sleep flat on the ground. Especially a guy in a hospital, he can also read his namaz, do you know that? And that's the time we all think, oh, saying, it's time for namaz now. You don't know if you're going to wake up, we're going to wake up from here, or we're going to go immediately from here. Many of them went away from the hospitals. Ask me the experience and I'll tell you, I've been there. Like the gentleman when I see me in the hospital, he looked at me, he smiled at me, I thought it was necessary to put everything on now. I saw him on his house. And then after he passed away. He just wanted to see my face. And Allah gave him a beautiful death. No pain. But before I went there, the nurses told me that he was suffering with pain. What pain? Breathing pain. He was breathing upwards. Do you know how difficult it is? Do you know how painful that is? To be in such a position is to battle to breathe. Very, very difficult position. So we have to make dua to Allah that not allow. चलते फिरते हमें दुनिया से रुखसत करते चलते फिरते walking, talking, sitting, understanding, reading your kalima, talking about Allah and His Rasul, asking for forgiveness, drinking some water, and then leaving the world. He was so fortunate, this man. How many of us are fortunate like that? But no. Leave us alone. The other bad habit a Muslim has got, especially a Muslim, because I've seen non-Muslims, I don't know most about them. But if you talk about my brothers, who I always sit with, I'll tell you. They're sitting with you, and they turn the face in the back with the fellow behind him, and they're talking bad about the fellow front of him. Have you seen that? I've seen that. Like I mentioned, when I came here first to read the namazes, one guy went for sajda, he picked his boot leg up. So I said, wait, this place is in the Virgin Active gym or somewhere. You're not in the gym when you read namaz. You read namaz according to the Shariat laws. There is Shariat laws for namaz. Namaz is just not namaz. Your place where you park, your intention must be perfect, your position must be perfect, your clothes must be clean and park, your sujood, your qiraat, everything has to be perfect before you make the first sajda. Namaz is easy. No. We take it very lightly. We know it. We're following the Imam. It's okay. Following the Imam. Allah khair kareem. Allah khair kareem. That is another story. Before we get to that, let's remember, when you read your namaz, you must know how to read your namaz. While you're bowing down, up and down, you're making exercise. Shariat law is clear. If you got no wudu, you cannot read your namaz. If your janabat is not cleansed, you cannot read namaz. If your clothes is not parked, you cannot read namaz. And if you haven't got clothes at all, you cannot read namaz. Unless there is some position like that, where there's no clothes at all, and you're such a position, you got no clothes at all. Allah accepts your namaz in the way that you are. Even if there's no water there in a desert, you can make tayammum with the sand. That's a different position. But where Allah has given you everything provided for you at your doorstep, then you have to do it accordingly. Now, for example, if a fellow stands and reads his namaz, and he didn't make his wuzu, namaz not accepted. Now, I mentioned that once that I went to make wudu one day, and this other gentleman was sitting next to me, and the Imam Sahib was going to perform the namaz that particular time. He was sitting that side. So this fellow was sitting next to me. When namaz time came, when the Imam started his Allah, he started takbir, Allahu Akbar, this fellow, he ran away. Where he ran? He ran to another mosque. Maybe somebody one day meet up with him and say, what happened? He said, what is up? You see this Imam made his wuzu there. This particular portion of his wuzu was not completed. Water didn't touch that position. So I said, did you see that? He said, yes, I saw that. Then he said, is my namaz accepted if I ran behind him? I said, no, not accepted. He asked me why. I said, your namaz is not accepted, everyone else's namaz is accepted. Because they don't know about it. Allah will accept their namazes. Then Imam Sahib namaz, Allah will also accept it. Because he did make his wuzu. If the water didn't go there, he didn't see it. Allah will forgive him. But if you look at the Shariat law, if the Imam knew that that portion was not wet, then his namaz was accepted and the Musalli's namaz was accepted, if he knew that. And he kept quiet about it and he carried on reading. Then, that, according to intentions, But if that particular portion was not wet, and that is for us to wash that particular part. And this guy that saw that position, he said, no, now that I know that part that hasn't been wet, so his wuzu is not completed. That is why I am not going to read namaz behind him, because I will be called a mashkook. The Shariat law is mashkook. The meaning of mashkook is jisko shak ho. Usko kehte hain mashkook. You know, fellow has a doubt, they're calling a person of doubt. That's a person of doubt. So he's got a doubt. That's why his namaz is not accepted. And he did the right thing, he went and led somebody else. He don't want to fight with the imam, you know why? Because he knew, if I fight with the imam, he's going to tell me off. He's telling me that you don't know anything about it, and I know everything. So just such a model, just sort of the fighting. So he said, I don't have any problems. I knew that this imam, or this particular person, that made his wuzu is not complete. So every simple thing, you have to get it correctly done when it comes to namaz. Yeah, very, very quickly, time is so limited. There was a time of the beloved Prophet Muhammad and the Sahabas came to him one morning and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I've got a problem. We all got a problem. What's the problem? He said, this Imam Sahib here, this Imam Sahib that you have made an Imam, you're not happy with him. Why are you not happy with this Imam? He said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're not happy with him because he lengthens his qiraat. What he does? He lengthens his qiraat. So you don't like this Imam because he lengthens his qiraat? So, what is your reason for that? He said, we are old. There's old people there. There's sickly people there. There's women folk that used to read namaz those days. They left their children and they have to go back and feed them milk from the breast. So we need to go back. We need to go back home early, and those that are sickly, they cannot hold the wuzu for long. So lots of us have problems. We call that Imam in the Rao. Imam Sahib. What is wrong with you? He didn't get upset with the Musallis. Who he got upset with? What is wrong with you? You know that there are sick people behind you. There are people that cannot stand too long. There are old people sitting behind you. There are also people like the ladies, they have to feed their children at home, and you are lengthening their qiraat. What for? You want to lengthen your qiraat, you want to lengthen your namaz, you go home and read it yourself, and lengthen your qiraat. When you read namaz on your own, you lengthen that yourself. But the man that is performing the namaz should read a small surah. But that too, we can't win today. You read a small surah and say, what is I'm reading a small surah? How do you win with this community of ours? You have to know the Shariat law. You have to know the hadiths. You have to know the Quran. You have to know the Quran ayat. You have to know the translation. You have to know the commentary of it. Then only you can open our big mouths and say, well, this is this, this is that. And people that without knowledge whatsoever, they cross-question you. They don't think beforehand. You want to ask a question and you have good intention to ask, no problems. But if you interfere and then say you're going to test this banana, not good. So those imams that lengthen the qiraat, I disagreed with them from the day I studied. But I kept quiet, I didn't answer until the hadith came. When I was doing the Dora hadith, when the hadith came and I said, I told my ustad, I said, that this year I always disagreed with this. Because I thought of the old people behind us, sickly people also. And I see that Imam Sahib in the front there, he also does the same thing. Talk to him. Let's all get together and talk to him. Don't lengthen this qiraat, what for? And nowadays these fellows are eating this vegetable, the cabbage, cauliflower, peas, beans, all this. Allah khair. They have such a problem with the gas problem. And it's not like, oh, eat the things of Allah. This is not so abnormal. What are we trying to do? The great is looking at you and you are trying to rush it. What for? Go and make your wuzu properly. Relax yourself. Allah will bless you for all the time that you missed out. And you will get your full rakat. You will get your full sawab. In fact, much more than that too. Because it's a test behind the test. It's a test that you are now writing, or the great is going to question you. At second namaz, we left half and you ran away. Inshallah, you know better. I had a problem with this gas, and I had to run back. I can't stand there, hold my stomach and push that thing, and what for? Tarawih time, you see, if it was Eid Halim, then there's problem. Why must you kill yourselves? Allah don't want that ibadah. He wants you to be relaxed, calm, cool, collective, understanding, patience. Then you read the namaz. Now too, come on a Thursday, these fellows making zikr. I remember I was unified mosque many years ago, about 40 years back it was. That the zikr party, they came to me. Somebody said, can you join us in the zikr party? I said, what for? He said, no, this party to join us. I said, I understand it. But why should I join you? Why are you asking me to join you? No, it's nice, you're a big man. You're a moron, I think you're sitting there, the rest of them will come and sit also. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, I was nice and I said, okay, there's the idea. So, after Isha, they said, the wife asked, what are you coming back? I said, why Isha? 15 minutes, half an hour. I don't know how much time I should be there. This one of thinkers carried on 2 hours. I had a problem at home. The wife sat in the back and slept away. And thirdly, she didn't open the door on time. Secondly, when I asked her, why did you open the door? How long I'm knocking at this door? She said, well, I slept away. You said, now what time will be? About 2 hours. So what do you expect me to do? So I slept away. So it caused a problem for me also. My night will be a lot of this day. My night was gone. Well, the wife said in the back of people, your night is gone. Next day is your night. What are you know? It happens. It's a known thing. It's a known fact. It's been on the Sahaba, been on the Prophet, been on everyone. They all have happened. When it comes to women, you will not get away there. That is the law. That is the Sharia God. That is the fact. What I'm trying to say is, that is all. When you get to me, I said, see, you caused a problem for me now. I took my wife, I promised her 1 hour time I'll be back. And for 2 hours you're sitting there. He said, Mr. what must you do? I said, no, what can you do? You said you're making zikr, didn't you? Zikrullah, you said that. What is zikrullah? Afdalul zikr, what is it? La ilaha illallah. And La ilaha illallah. Afdalul zikr. You start La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. Carry it on. He has all different tunes, you carry it on. Mix it up, you put all those things there. Then he comes there, he's a naat. Then he starts lecturing there. I'm sitting there. He's lecturing. He's explaining about that zikr or that whatever kalam that he read. He's talking about that. So it went from zikr, it went to naat, and from naat it went to something else. And he's explaining that to the people. So I said, yeah, next time if you want a lecture to be given here, I'll do the lecture. Okay? You do the zikr, I'll do the lectures. And it's not you want to read, have a naat, a khwan, or a naat party, or a night for naat, and night for naat, you don't mind coming and sitting there. But when you're having zikr, and zikrullah, Allah loves to be alone. And I love to be alone. And I love to have that position to say, I am Qadir, and I am Qadir al-Mutlaq. So if Allah wants to be alone, He wants to be one and only, He is the creator, He is the giver, He is the forgiver, He is everything. He wants to be praised. And He wants to be praised alone. You want to praise the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, go ahead. But if you want to take your own time and having zikr, then you have the naat there, then you have the lecture there, then it's not called zikr. It's not zikrullah. You want to get is zikr, and the other is zikrullah, and the other one is zikr rasul. You got 3 different things. You want to mix all that up, tell the crowd, this zikr of ours will take 2 hours. Tell them. And then you can go on giving your zikr, then you read your naat, then you will explain that, you give your lecture in the end, and you read the salam and durood, and you can read the long du'as. Allah khair, when it comes to du'as, I remember when I went to Arafat, Allah khair, we finished this lecture. That one Moran was there. Then she asked me to make a dua, I made a small dua. I said, tell me a dua. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-afwa wal-afiyah wal-mu'afata da'imata fi d-dini wal-dunya wal-akhirah. Finish. That's all I want. I said, Muslim, you finished? I said, that's sufficient. Right? Come on, give the Creator a break also. He knows what you're asking for. He knows what you came here for. So what you are screaming and crying for? He's saying, no, what about that Mawlana Sahib next to you? So he's asking, what is it? What about that Mawlana Sahib next to you? He's crying out for the last hour now. And you come here in 10 minutes to make a dua, you finish. So I said, okay, let's go for the Mawlana Sahib. You all join me. I asked him, I said, what is this? What dua are you making so long that they are praising you here? He said, no, Mawlana Sahib, I'm paid for it. I have to do my job properly. وما علينا إلا البلاغ. Sunnah.